If the oppressor and the oppressed are serving the same God, whose prayers are being answered?
So she said, if the oppressor and the oppressed are serving the same God, then whose prayers are being answered, huh? The answer is simple. No one's prayers are being answered. Because what's actually happening is we are living in a new timeline, but the same old code, a playbook that has been running successfully for centuries. See, the God of Christianity is deeply rooted and grounded in people's minds, thanks to the slave Bible that you mentioned, I knew about that, and generations of programming. Through theta brainwaves and DNA imprinting, many are wired to follow, obey, and fear rebellion. So here's the kicker. They aren't really praying to any God, not the oppressors. See, they are using alchemy and manipulating energy and harvesting life force and playing a game of power. That is what they do. Now, sure, energy work can be harvested or harnessed for good, but most folks refuse to actually use these tools to actually shift the world because their programming calls everything but Christianity demonic. And then you have to remember, heaven and hell and even large parts of Revelations was added later on to the Bible. And there's no clear-cut origin story for Christ in text or out of text. Meanwhile, constant prayers begging for a higher power to save you doesn't end up working because they don't create change. They give energy to another source, a source that keeps people waiting for miracles while the oppressor directs the energy, manipulates reality, and makes immediate moves that end up benefiting their families for centuries. That is why most people do not own land or leave with generational wealth to their loved ones when they die, because they are programmed to believe that if they gain the world, they will lose their soul. And that programming causes internal sabotage while waiting for a heaven that never comes. So in summary, neither the oppressor or the oppressed prayers are being answered in the system as it stands. We're trapped in a spiritual matrix coded by the oppressor's agenda, and Christianity's grip runs through programming in our minds, DNA, and culture. Prayers as pleas to the higher power often channel energy away from the real change. The oppressor uses energy of manipulation and not faith to actually control outcomes and source legacy wealth. And this cycle keeps the oppressed bound mentally, spiritually, and materially. Real freedom begins from breaking from the programming and seeing the hidden forces at play and reclaiming your power beyond the imposed belief systems. So waiting for salvation after death, which is a lie, will never happen. The liberation must start here and now. Unfortunately, there's your answer.